Is it really possible to be in two places at the same time? In this video, Willow and I, she's right here in front of me, are going to discuss remote viewing. What is remote viewing? How does it work? And if it does work, how do you test this for yourself? Stay tuned till the very end because I'm going to give an exercise so that you can test if you are remote viewing. Okay, in the 1970s, there was a project that was funded by the CIA. The CIA funded the Stanford Research Institute, and they did this for about 20 years. The CIA and the DIA, and it was to train psychics on how to see things in their mind with their consciousness that they had never been to before, to reveal hidden places, hidden people, hidden things. This is what we would call remote viewing. Remote viewing is the idea of being in your body and accessing a non-local point, a point that exists in your current reality. So it's not like you're tapping into the past or the future. You're accessing something that is currently existing right now. And what they would do with this program, they spent over $20 million, and this project lasted for about 20 years, like I was saying. The Stargate project was an experiment. It was something that allowed these psychics to go into their mind and try to access people, try to find locations that would help the government overall. What's really interesting is that over the years, we have seen podcasts such as the telepathy tapes describe this sensation, this idea of remote viewing and how it can be accurate if this ability is strengthened, is utilized. So what does it look like to remote view? I know for me personally, I have had a lot of success in identifying where people are and being able to talk to strangers and see what their surroundings are. And I started doing this after getting into the gateway tapes. The gateway tapes are a series of tapes that allow you to sync your right and left hemisphere of the brain and kind of create this pattern, this brainwave pattern that allows you to have out-of-body experiences. A lot of these psychics would have journals and do sketches or do drawings of what they were seeing. It's the ability to describe shapes, textures, even a feeling, the mood, the atmosphere. This is what you're doing when you get into this state. I have not been the same after doing over 30 days of the gateway tapes. Again, each day it gives you a progression. So the first day they train your mind on how to see a box and what this box looks like, and then taking the box, there's like a certain set of steps, and you do this over and over again, and day by day you experience different results. I remember it was probably about a week in, I finished the meditation, and they are in depth, okay? It's not a 10-minute meditation. It's a very structured process that they go through with these tapes. I'll leave a description down below, and I'll also leave a description to the declassified statements of what the CIA was doing with the Stargate project. So what I was doing after probably about 7 days, I looked into the mirror after getting out of one of the meditative states and saw my body like a crystallized version of myself. It was like a hologram. It was so beautiful. I couldn't describe how beautiful. It was like I was seeing through myself, but not really. And it was a very magical moment for me. That's when I realized that there was something to these tapes. I saw myself and felt like I was seeing myself for the first time through the eyes of Source. Such an incredible experience. I'll leave a picture. It kind of reminds me of Twilight when Edward walks into the light. That's how I viewed myself. And it brought me to tears. So I did the gateway tapes for about 30 days, and I've never been the same since. A couple months ago, I was talking to a psychic. I hired a psychic to read my energy. I started telling her about me seeing auras, which is something that I see quite often now. and I'm asking her questions about myself. After telling her about what I've been experiencing, she then asked me for a reading. She asked me for a reading, and she asked the question, is there anything else that you can tell me about me? And instead of telling her personality traits or things that'll happen to her in the future, I dropped down into my body. I started deeply breathing, and then I started seeing these symbols, these pictures. It was her in a room. I started seeing the color blue. The color blue just kept popping up. It was almost like something was right next to her that was blue. She then verifies that she was sitting in an office and right behind her were blue curtains. Little things like that. But it's so interesting how the mind is catching on to these visuals as you're in this state. So here's the test for you. Target 994. I have a visual in my hand. Target 994 is what I want you to connect to. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to breathe into your body. And what I mean by that is you're going to scan your body and really feel and bring awareness to everything in your body. You scan. You start at the head. You create awareness. Where is my mind in space? Where is my nose in space? Where is my chin? And then you start to scan down. How does my throat feel? Put awareness to your heart and your chest. Continue to go down your body until you're in a very deep, relaxed state. This doesn't have to take a lot of time either. I've noticed that I'm able to have my eyes open while getting into these visuals and these locations. So you do this, and once you've scanned your body, allow yourself to receive symbols. I want you to describe, with the visual that I have in my hand, I want you to describe the mood of the picture. I want you to describe what or who is in the visual, and see if you can pinpoint the location. What symbols arise from this state? What do you see? Jot it down. You can either have a pad in front of you and kind of draw a sketch, whatever you need to help you tune into what I'm holding in my hands right now. Again, it's target 994. Let me know in the comments what you've come up with, and then I will heart or reply back to your comment and see what the results are. I'm really excited for this. Remote viewing, as described in the telepathy tapes, is another way of communicating. There are places that we've never been to, there are people that we've never met, and yet somehow we are able to tap into these visuals, these coordinates that are very specific and detailed. One of the most prominent people during the Stargate projects is a man named Ingo Swann. He was able to see in his mind's eye the rings around Jupiter years before NASA discovered them. So it's very interesting how even if in your current reality things aren't discovered yet, people are still able to identify them. And I just love that this project was held for the amount of years that it was. 20 years is a long time to spend millions of dollars on something that isn't real or that can't be proven. But I do think, and you can let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, I do think that because of its inconsistency, because it wasn't foolproof, there was reason enough to close the program. Usually, if you're collecting more and more data based off of the psychics that they were hiring, then you'll get mixed results. But it does seem to me like the people who were really good at it and trained that muscle over and over and over again, they were able to get accurate, scaringly accurate results. So I just think that it depends on the person, and it depends on the person's ability to tap into it. And going back to the podcast that I was talking about with the telepathy tapes, there are people who can undeniably measure the answer and find the solution, find the location, talk to people telepathically, and also pinpoint locations or draw out certain visuals that are true. I hope that you guys have liked this video. I'm excited to see the results, and we will keep in touch. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Love you.